Since the release of the GTA Online Los Santos Drug Wars update, I've been grinding it non-stop, and because I've spent so much time going through it, I'm now here today to present to you the best way in which you can make money online. Like all content that Rockstar releases, it's going to be a grind, and it's no different with the Los Santos Drug Wars update. For this, you're going to need to do a bit of setup, such as getting the acid lab, and it's not the case of just having enough money to buy into it. You will need money, but you also need to go through the 6 missions. The 6 missions called the first dose. Each of these can last anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes, all dependent on the types of vehicles that you use, as well as how confident of a player you are. On the 6th mission, you will be able to steal the Brigade 6x6 and take it back to the Freak Shop. That is when you'll be able to unlock additional missions such as the initial setup, which will allow you to steal equipment. It will give you 3 different locations to choose from, but you do only need 1. This will be a smiley face yellow icon. You'll need to place the supplies in the back of a truck and then drive that back to the Freak Shop warehouse. And with all of this, you're still not done. You'll then need to spend an additional 750k. Now this shouldn't be too much of a problem. With the 6 initial missions that you went through at the beginning, they each give you anywhere between 30 to 50k. Plus on top of that, after you complete the 6th and final mission, you'll get an additional 250k on top. So you only need to find an extra 200 to 300k in order for you to buy into this if you're limited on funds. But now it brings us to the point in which you can actually start using this as a business. We can actually go through how you make money with all of this. So the Acid Lab is similar to what you have with other services such as the Terabyte, except inside you have a fully functioning meth lab. Just like the MC businesses which are part of GTA, there are resupply missions. You'll need to go into the corner and you do need to go and source supplies. These are entirely free for you to do, but can take 10 to 15 minutes whilst you complete the mission, and only brings in a small amount of supplies where you'll need to keep on doing this over and over again until you have a full bar. There is the option for you to buy supplies. For this, you'll need to go and talk to Mutt, who is located within inside. You'll talk to him and there's 2 options there, one being pause production. I don't know why you'll ever do this, but the other option is buying supplies, which will cost you $60,000. The supplies won't be added immediately. You'll need to wait several minutes until they're finally added to your acid lab and Mutt can start working away. With this as well, it does cost 60k, and from what I can tell, you're not going to be making a huge amount of profit, but you will still be making profit right at the beginning. So those 60k supplies are going to give you about a 90 to 100k in product, which is not the best return right at the beginning, but there is a way to upgrade this and we will talk about that a bit later. Now with this, there is a slightly different feature as part of the Acid Lab. There is a way in which you can boost production, but this is only available for a very limited amount of time and you can only do it once per day. That's not once per day as in a GTA Online day, this is once per day as in a 24-hour period. Very similar to what you have with the Lucky Wheel, where you can only spin that once per day. It's on the exact same timer. For whatever reason, if you did need to boost this all of a sudden to get quick supplies, then it's worth going for. Really, you should probably be just doing this as part of a habit to do this every single day, because there's no reason not to. You don't need to do a mission, it doesn't cost anything, it's just your character going over to this point, he'll interact, he'll boost supplies, and there's like a 10-15 second animation, and then it's done. And at this point, your setup for the Acid Lab is fully complete. There is nothing else to do apart from making sure that it is always supplied. You can even link this as part of the MC businesses, where you make sure everything is supplied by buying supplies or doing resupply missions and keep them all going, because they're all very similar. The only difference with the Acid Lab is that you really should be aiming for a full bar, getting the maximum amount of product. See, with the MC businesses, when they were first added to GTA Online, Rockstar was really trying to push co-op gameplay. They wanted you to play with other players. So the second that you got to a certain point with product, if you try to do a delivery, it'll tell you that there's going to be multiple vehicles because it's intended for multiple players. And if you get 1 or 2 of them, it's fine as a solo player, but once you start to get 3 or 4, things become really tricky. In some cases, it's next to impossible for you to actually complete the deliveries, in which you're losing money. It all comes down to the random vehicles that they provide. But with the Acid Lab, the delivery vehicle will always be the same. It's the delivery bike which comes with it. No matter how much product you have in stock, you will always be doing a delivery with this bike. It's always going to be available for solo players, so to save you time, you really shouldn't be doing this every time it becomes available. You should wait until you reach the max and can't create any more for you to do a sell delivery. Now, with all of this said, that's the basic premise of how you can make money with the Acid Lab. But now is the point in which we take it a bit further, where we can get a bit more efficient as well as make a bit more. The first thing available to you is modifications to your Acid Lab as well as your delivery bike, and it's worth going through these. Maybe not so much the delivery bike, but definitely worth the Acid Lab. The Acid Lab itself has multiple ways in which you can upgrade it. You should really buy into all the upgrades that actually improve it, not the ones that improve it aesthetically, but the ones that improve it functionally. We're talking about the ramming, engine, brakes, handling, all of that good stuff. And the reason for this is because if you were to go and do a source supplies mission, a lot of the time you're going to be put into a very awkward situation where you need to fight some pretty hard enemies. We're talking about armored as well as being incredibly lethal. And the reason you want to focus on improving the Acid Lab is because it's a smart idea to take it with you. Yes, you can probably take your best and fastest vehicle to fly over there and retrieve the supplies. But once you do that, you now need to travel all the way back to your Acid Lab to drop off those supplies. Regardless of how quick your vehicle is, it's better for you just to take the Acid Lab with you to the location, collect the supplies and go inside. But unfortunately, if it gets destroyed, that mission's over. So it's really worth investing in all the armor and, in all honesty, just completely kitting it out. Now you can do the exact same thing with the delivery bike and it will improve it. It'll make deliveries slightly faster, but also at the exact same time, the deliveries are not too difficult. So this is something that you can put on the back burner until you have enough money. The other upgrade that you really want to be pushing for is the equipment upgrade. This will improve the equipment within the back of the Acid Lab, allowing you to make more money as well as build up production a lot quicker. Unfortunately, it's going to be locked. You will need to complete 10 Fooligan missions for Dax until this is available, and that's when you can buy into it, and that's when you can improve your Acid Lab. For you to do this, you need to phone him. You'll just phone Dax, request for work, and he'll give you a mission, very similar to a payphone hit from Franklin. Except with these missions, they pay quite a bit more, and they're more entertaining. It's not just a case of going to a location and killing someone, it's a bit more in depth. And there's more variety with them. With all of these missions, you will be rewarded with $100,000 at the end, which means after completing 10, you will have $1 million, plus the ability to buy into the equipment upgrade, which will give you even more money. The only downside to these missions is that there is a 48-minute cooldown, a full GTA Online day before you can enter back into them. So it is going to take some time for you to get this upgrade, but trust me, it's definitely going to be worth it. So far, this is how you can make money from the GTA Online Los Santos Drug Wars update using the Acid Lab. If you want to know more how to complete those 6 initial missions in the most efficient way as possible, then that video is available for your viewing on screen right now. If you click that, it will take you directly over there where I will share everything with you on exactly how you do it and exactly how you unlock the Acid Lab and how you can really get things going. So if you're interested, click that video and I'll be over there to guide you through everything.